Winston Peters gave an impressively stupid State of the Nation speech. He started off by claiming that the protesters outside were attacking freedom and democracy. What an absurd and mindless statement. An attempt at virtue signalling to the dangerous victim complex that dominates his voter base. Trying to portray peaceful protesters as enemies of freedom and democracy. Claiming that they want to take away people's rights. Telling disgusting lies. Using our values to attack our values. Using the value of free speech to attack the legitimacy of people displaying free speech. This is deeply dangerous stuff. The Deputy Prime Minister should not be portraying overwhelmingly peaceful protesters as enemies of freedom and democracy. That is disgusting and irresponsible. And he claimed to have a right to an undisturbed public meeting. No, that is not what free speech means. But Winston wants his safe space. What an entitled, woke loser. It is pathetic. And claiming that the repetitive messaging of the protest somehow disproves its validity. Perhaps he should tell that to copy-paste Luxon, or his own supporters who are still banging on about Jacinda Ardern. Winston tried to claim that Labour destroyed the economy. As usual, he takes no responsibility for putting them in government. Does his memory not go back that far? Does he not remember 2017? If they are so horrible, why the hell did he put them in government? He is hardly new to politics. He should have known better. He is a mindless fool. He bragged about New Zealand First's lack of funding. Of course, he neglected to mention the many big money donations that New Zealand First has received. And of course he did. He tries to portray overwhelmingly peaceful pro-Palestine protesters as violent thugs. What about the actual violent thugs who attacked cops and set fire to public property outside Parliament in 2022? Now they are his voting base, and he desperately tries to win their favour. This constant betrayal of one's supposed values. This constant hypocrisy. Pretending to be above protesting, unless of course the protesters are on his side, in which case he desperately seeks their votes, no matter how they behave. Winston has been consumed by a desperate desire for power. It is pathetic. I want to like Winston. I actually saw him speak in person 2 years ago, and he gave a pretty decent speech. But clearly, he has gotten dumber or more desperate, because his State of the Nation speech was just embarrassing. Like I say, I want to like Winston, but that speech was utterly brain-dead. Rambling about woke this and woke that, pretending to care about freedom while borrowing his rhetoric from Donald Trump. Trump, the man who wants pro-Palestine protesters deported. Trump, the man who suggested terminating the Constitution. Trump, the man who wants people imprisoned for flag burning. Winston copies his rhetoric from Trump, and then he pretends to value freedom. The nationalist imports his arguments from the dumbest foreign leaders. He is desperate for power, which has led him to reach down into the lowest possible forms of rhetoric that he can find. He knows that the last 2 times he went into government, he was voted out of Parliament at the following election. He knows that we have an election next year. And he will say anything he can to get elected again. He will import the most cancerous, disgusting discourse from overseas to increase his chance of being elected by 1%. He will divide this nation for his own political gain. And he dares to call himself a nationalist, as he tries to promote vicious division for his own political benefit, pretending that anti-war protesters want to take away freedom and democracy. It is a disgusting lie. He will distract us with culture wars for his own gain, as his government serves the rich and screws over working people. He pretends to be some man of the people, some great populist. He is not. He is a wealthy career politician who is willing to form a government with the ACT Party. He rolls in big money political donations like a pig in mud. He is more baked into the system than anyone. He is not an outsider. Don't reward his stupidity with a vote. Do not be deceived by his fake populism.